Welcome to Legacy Academy on Lady Glene's YouTube channel. I'm Tamara Norman and I'll be your vocal coach for today. Let's talk vocals. Okay, so before we start, we want to make sure that our body is completely relaxed and ready to sing. So first, let's get our shoulders, especially our shoulder and neck, which are our stress points. Let's try to get those loosened up before we start doing any form of exercise. Okay, so let's go. We're going to be lifting the shoulders as tight as possible, and take your time when dropping. You don't want to hurt yourself. So drop, and again up, clench, drop, again, and drop. Okay, good job. Now we're going to rotate backwards. So we're going forward, up, around, and down. And again. Good job. Can you feel that? Can you feel all that pain, all that tension going on there? So take your little time and go next direction. Yeah, loosen up those muscles. Good job. Okay, now we're going to rotate the neck. We're going to be going forward, then to the side, then to the back, to the next side, and come back to the front. If you hear any form of cracking going on in your neck, you want to stop, take your time, and go again. Okay, let's go. Around. And please keep your eyes open. Don't want anybody getting all dizzy or anything. Next direction. Ooh, good job. Yeah. Do you feel loose? If you're still feeling a bit tense, you can pause the video. Go ahead, do some more rotating. Stretch the arm. Stretch, go up and down. Whatever you need to do to make sure that your body, especially your neck and shoulders, are completely relaxed. Okay? All right, good. So let's get into the lesson. Today we're going to be looking at a few common mistakes that we make as singers and how we can use simple tips to correct them. So today we're going to be looking at 7 of them. Alright, and the first one for me is the major one. It's incorrect breathing technique. So yes, you'll be thinking like we breathe naturally, but the truth is our instrument as a singer is a wind instrument, which means most of the work comes from air. Just like a guitar that you use your strings, just like a drum that you use membranes or skin, for us it's about wind. It's how our sound is produced. Not your throat, not your vocal cords, wind. Yeah, that's good. You learned something today. Alright, so let's go. One thing that we want to be very clear or keen on is what happens to our body when we inhale. Okay, so the first thing that happens is that once the air goes in, we know it goes to the lungs, but what happens is that the lungs expand, causing our rib cage to go sideways, and it also flattens our diaphragm, which causes our tummy to protrude. If that's not happening and your shoulders are the ones that are contracting, then you are not breathing correctly. So let's try this. Try yawning. Alright, let's go. Just yawn. Oh yeah, good. Let's try it again. Now think about what is happening to your body. Do you feel your lungs expanding or your rib cage expanding and your tummy going out? If that's happening, then it's correct. We're singing on phrases, whether they're short phrases or longer phrases, we are able to hold out the note and have a balanced tone. Okay, so we're gonna use or, well, one of my favorite nursery rhymes, Mary Had a Little Lamb. So let's try that. What we're gonna do is that we're gonna use my hand as our breathing points. So this is the point where we breathe, and wherever I stop, that's where you stop singing. Then we go again to breathe and stop, breathe and stop. Let me talk us through it so that when it's time to sing, we're able to do so. So we breathe. Mary had a little lamb. Stop, breathe. Little lamb, breathe. Little lamb. Again, Mary had a little lamb. His fleece was white as snow. What just happened? We are using those two last phrases in one breath, not two. Okay, so let's try that. So we're inhaling using our yawn method, or you can also use the suck straw method, which means that we're imagining that we're sucking through a straw and allow the air to go all the way down into the lungs, flattening the diaphragm. So let's go. Inhale or suck through the straw. Yeah, can you feel it? Good job. When I say breathe, or whenever I touch my hand, that's when you breathe. So we're going in. I'm going to use the yawn method. You can use the straw method if you choose. So let's go. And we're going, Mary had a little lamb, that's our key. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, inhale. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb, his fleece was white as snow. Good job. Okay, so now that we know how to breathe and use proper proportion of air to go through our phrases, we want to go to number 2. Second common mistake that we make as singers is that we tend to not use the correct register when singing. You see my hand on my chest? So we have 2 major registers that we use when singing. There are actually 3, but we're only going to be looking at 2 today. So we have our chest register, which is our lower register, and we have our head register, what we call our chest voice and head voice. The third is called a mix or a mid-range. It's between both the head and chest register. But the truth is, if you're unable to access the chest and head, you don't want to be trying the mix. Let's master the first 2 before we even proceed to think about the third. If you place your hand on your chest while talking, you will feel a vibration happening. The sound is resonating in your chest, which means that this is the space where the air goes and it forms the sound and now produces it. So once you're going to lower notes that you're singing, my God is awesome, He can move mountains. You want to feel all of that happening in your chest, not your throat. Same thing for the head voice. If we're going to access our head voice, we can try using a yawn method. Again, yes, it's pretty simple, it's pretty easy once we do what the body does naturally. Okay, so let's think of a yawn. My God is awesome. My God is awesome. Now I'm going all the way to the head voice and not the chest, not the neck. Did we get it? You try that. Now we're going to number 3. The third common mistake that we make as singers is clenching the teeth or singing east-west and not north-south. What it does is posturing your articulators in how to sing correctly. All right, articulators, here we go using big words. It's pretty simple. We're talking about your teeth, your tongue, your lips, and your jaw. They do the work in pronouncing your words. Yes, we already know this, but we tend not to use it correctly when it's time to sing. So if we're talking about clenching the teeth, my God is awesome. And yes, it sounds cute, but the truth is that, again, we are now bringing tension to the throat. We don't need that at all. We need to feel relaxed so that at the end of the song, we feel accomplished and not stressed. Okay, so let's try that same song again. Instead of singing east, west, we're going to be singing north, south. My God is awesome. He can move mountains, keep me in the valley, hide me from the rain. What is happening here is that you're allowing your articulators to do the work and allowing the sound to come in a more round and defined tone and not in a wide and nasal tone. You got it? Number 4 common mistake that we make as singers is either tilting the head up to sing a high note or tilting the neck down to hit a low note. I believe majority, if not all singers, have done this at one point in singing, whether it's intentional or subconsciously. All right, we want to try our best to eliminate doing any work to the neck at all. Once we get ourselves in an upright posture, again, the work is from the diaphragm and the air that comes through the lungs, nothing else. All right, so say we're trying to hit those notes, we're trying to go down to that low register or the high. All we need to do, I promise you, is to drop the jaw. The note is very low. Ma, 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 ma. All I needed to do was to drop my jaw instead of doing this. Ma. The only thing will happen is that I'll be straining my neck. That's all I'll be doing differently. So yes, go ahead and try that out. All you need to do is drop the jaw. Lower for low notes, again lower for high notes. I promise you, that's all you need to do. Number 5 common mistake is shouting instead of belting. What is belting? Belting is projecting the sound so that your volume increases and the tone increases, or what we say, or energy also increase. So we're going a bit stronger and louder in singing. And again, we tend to go straight to the throat to do this. Please give your throat a break. We don't use our throat for singing. It's only a passage that the air goes through. It allows our vocal cords to vibrate to give us the right tone. That's all we use the throat to do. When we are shouting, we can injure our vocal cords. We can injure our trachea. We don't want to do that. Most times when we're through shouting, whether mainly in church, some people through rock music, singing hardcore music, what you do is that you damage the vocal cords. You leave hoarse. For some persons, they have to stop singing for a very long period and try to restore that voice. You don't want to do that anymore if you're actually doing it. So belting, how do we belt then? Belting is allowing the body to do the work and not your throat. You are allowing your diaphragm and your buttocks to do the work. Yes, your buttocks is involved. So how do we do that? When we take in our deep breath and we're going for those higher or stronger notes, we want to tighten the diaphragm and also to clench the buttocks. Allow your body to take on that energy to push that sound forward, and that's how we belt. Allowing again the jaw to drop as low, especially if you're going for those high notes and those lower notes, you want to drop your jaw. When we're dropping our jaw, you should also feel your ears popping open. That's how low you can go. Let's try that. I want you to use your hand as your marker to see how wide you can open your mouth using your hand. Let's go. As wide as you possibly can. When you do that, naturally you find yourself yawning. If not, you'll also hear or feel the opening area here in your ears. You'll feel it opening wide. You're giving yourself capacity to allow that air to flow through. We're on to number 6. Number 6 common mistake as singers is slouching when it's time to sing, especially if we are sitting or we're standing maybe somewhere in a choir. We don't feel the need to stand uprightly. We don't feel the need to sit up straight. We think if we slouch, we'll be more relaxed and it helps us to sing properly. But if I am slouching, what will happen is that I am now causing a blockage to my airflow. And we don't need that. We want our body to be upright and giving that air passage a free flow so the air can come in and out easily. Okay, so we're at the end. Number 7 common mistake. Okay, this is where the brain gets involved. It's when we forget to think. Yeah, we do it a lot. We get so involved in the music, we're excited and we're going, and so we don't think and we allow our muscle memory to do the work, but we are not intentionally involved. If we're about to sing, and persons might think that singing is so easy, you can just do this in a breeze. There are so many factors to consider when singing that you don't have time to go to lose your mind or to blank out. You have a lot to be thinking about. You have to be thinking about that breathing. You have to know, yes, I'm about to hit a high note. I need more energy. I need more air. I'm about to sing a very long phrase. I need to be thinking, where do I take my breath? I need to be thinking about the words, how to articulate them, that persons can hear me well. I need to be thinking about how to enunciate and express myself in a way that connects with my audience. All of this is involved. We're talking about posture. We're trying our best to not just sing, but communicate well. You have to be thinking while you sing. If not, you start surprising yourself when you get to these notes and even fail at hitting them correctly. And it doesn't matter whether it's a low note, a mid note, whether it's a high note. If you are not preparing for them, you can fail to hit them smoothly or to even feel comfortable while singing. So sometimes, and I'm sure you can think of this if you're a singer, at the end of the song, you feel like it's time to now go and sing the song. Like, yes, we're at the end, but I feel like I didn't do the song justice. Why? Because we don't process the music while we go. And so practice, practice, practice. My final words to you all is to remember that practice doesn't make perfect, but it does make permanent, which means that anything that you continue to repeat, once it's being regurgitated, it becomes muscle memory, and that's what your body will remember to do. So take the time, go back through the tips, try your best to understand and align your mind, your body even your breathing in the correct form, use the right posture, use the right registers for your low and your high notes, and also please listen to your body. Whenever you feel fatigued or hoarse or overwhelmed, take the time to rest. You will need to rest to be able to do well for another day, another event. Okay, so all the best practicing, and I look forward to hearing from you. Leave some comments. We'll talk about it, whatever you want to ask. I'll make myself available to respond. All the best to you.